So yeah, mixed results. We kind of got robbed last night of NaVi going out in the groups at EPL, and this is due to Cloud9. Everything else went smooth in the group in this final day, right? Gambit beats Furia, solid. NaVi beats Team 1, okay, that's what needed to happen. But in order for it to happen that NaVi would get knocked out, we needed Cloud9 to beat MIBR. And, goes without saying that it's a huge game tonight, right? That's where we're going with it, Cloud9 versus MIBR. Cloud9 going in as the favorites. They should be beating MIBR. Considering the talent that's on Cloud9, you're definitely thinking they can go toe-to-toe with MIBR, and they should be beating MIBR. Except that it didn't go that way. As we all know now, Cloud9 didn't make it happen. They got bopped. They got bopped in 2 maps. Very close, but they got bopped in the end. And MIBR managed to take that win, and it means that NaVi sneak through in 3rd seed on group. So unfortunately for us, NaVi have made it through. Unfortunately for NaVi, to be fair, because NaVi right now, I think it would have been best for them to go out in the group so they could just focus on discovering what is a T side. Maybe look at a dictionary, T side. Oh, that's what it is. Offense, getting bombs planted. Right. Playing within time left in the round. Oh. Yeah, so NaVi, they need to figure that sort of stuff out. And so unfortunately now they've made it through, and so they're going to get a little bit of time, but not as much time as they would get otherwise. So we'll see for NaVi. But this isn't a video about NaVi. This is a video about Cloud9. So it's just some quick thoughts here on Cloud9, because we've talked a little bit about it on stream in the past, and this kind of really sums it up. Some really silly rounds cost us their map pick, which I agree. It was a painful match to watch on Vertigo there. It was very... back and forth, goes into overtime. It looked good for Cloud9 to lock it down, and then MIBR, it's like you look away, you look back, it's 15-15, and we're going to overtime. How did that happen? And I feel like Cloud9, a lot of that is just, they're going to be asking themselves, how did that happen? And in the end, just showing Henry's last tweet here, the train of progression, right? It's like you're going in, you're fired up, you got the C9 win hashtag, you're looking good. And then you get that mid-tweet, that post-first map tweet where it's like, yep, didn't really go our way, need to pull our socks up, still try to stay focused. And then it comes in with the went in as favorites, and unfortunately we bottled it when it really mattered. Money was a constant problem, which is true, and we looked disjointed, stressed by the relentless clutch situations, every situation down to the wire, absolutely gutted. And it's, they played a strong game. MIBR showed some good mental strength, and you'd expect that with the likes of Bolts on that team. You expect them to be able to withstand it. But, when it comes to Cloud9, this kind of just reiterates the whole point that now Cloud9, watching them play yesterday and see, or what I could watch when I wasn't going like this, right? But watching what we got yesterday it was a stressful experience. It was a stressful experience, and you can feel like right now this team are, they're dealing more with playing not to lose rather than playing to win. They don't have that deep down knowledge that they are the better team, and so that they are going to win in the end, right? That confidence that decisively wins you rounds, decisively allows you to end maps. They don't have it yet, and that's kind of what we've talked about. It's been our thread with Cloud9 through and through, right? When it comes to this team and their performance, it's no longer about the Colossus, charging through and just breaking everything down immediately and going for big results right out the gates. This is a long-term game now for Cloud9, and they're going to have to go through a lot of those ups and downs of teams that are learning to build the confidence and players that are learning to build that confidence, because now, unfortunately for them, as it stands, they've got some fresh talent on board who don't have that veteran experience, and they have some guys who have been around for a while but who haven't really managed to get to the top either. And so Esatag, at least recently, his claim to fame was playing for Astralis as a stand-in and playing a few maps and then getting picked up, performing well. Can't take that away from him, but getting picked up. Alex, his big thing was vitality, being the IGL there with Zywoo, one of the greatest players to ever touch the game. So he had a bone to pick himself. There's all these mental things going on with Cloud9 that are really interesting, but also you can see how they could lead to there being more difficulties for this team down the road. Is that Alex? The main criticism for him is, he wasn't a good in-game leader, because anybody can IGL when you've got Zywoo, right? And so he, coming into this roster, straight up was like, I need to prove these guys wrong. Like I need to show that I can do it. It's not just because I had Zywoo that I got results. I'm a good in-game leader, and this is I have to show what I can play with. And so he's got that in the back of his head every match, right? If it starts going against him, he's got that additional little pressure of needing to prove himself, right? That's going to be wheedling its way, worming its way into his brain every time that score starts going against them, right? So a little bit of a struggle there for your in-game leader who may be lacking confidence. So already that poses a problem that you're going to have to work away against. That whether that's bringing on a psychologist, having somebody that Alex can turn to that has that kind of experience that he can turn to in these moments to give him some guidance, whatever, he's going to have to deal with that lack of confidence one way or another. But when your in-game leader is dealing with that kind of lack of confidence or that kind of need to prove himself, and you've got young guns on the team like Floppy, Mezzi, and Zeppa, who have shown individually that they can shine, but who definitely have their own mental games to play with when it comes to closing maps and closing tight situations, which is basically what we saw against MIBR over and over again. Just a bunch of clutch situations that didn't go Cloud9's way, and the entire time you're watching them play, it's feeling like Cloud9, they should be winning this. They know they should be winning this, and they're playing not to lose. They're not playing to win. And this is like a cliche thing that we've talked about in the past where it's that mental shift that happens with teams where they know that they're ahead, and instead of ending their opponents and playing to win, as in like they know that they're ahead and they're confident in their ability to end the map, they know that they're the better team and they just get the job done. They're like, we're the better team, but oh god, it's going against us. Like they start making mistakes, they start flashing each other, they start going for weird clutch rounds, they start pushing through smokes, they start doing weird things that end up costing them the game. And it feels like that's exactly what we're seeing with Cloud9. And this kind of just feeds into the whole narrative that we have with Cloud9 now, or that I have with Cloud9, which is that this has all just become a long game now for Cloud9. There's nothing new about this team that's going to come in and take the world by storm. This is all about working on Alex, making sure that he gets the confidence as an in-game leader and the support that he needs as an in-game leader, that he has Esatag, who's the other veteran, who's going to be there to back him up and help him form these three new players, as in like new to the scene, Floppy, Mezzi, and Zeppa, who are making their push now and playing against the elite teams in the world. And that's going to take time because you're going to need to build that confidence. You're going to need a couple lucky breaks to go your way, some big wins that are going to go your way, that are going to build that confidence and that are going to show you that you're capable of taking on the best and beating the best, and that you deserve that spot of playing right at this level. Because right now they may be a little imposter syndrome going on right now. They may be like, oh, we're here, but do we deserve to be here? Right? They don't know that they deserve to be here. And so they don't feel like perhaps that they've earned it yet. And so it's that struggle. And you keep seeing that when they're in these matches where they're supposed to win it, and you think this is a match that Cloud9 wins, or even in these sorts of scenarios where they're one map away. It goes away. It goes against them. They're so good at overpass. I mean, that at least Cloud9 have a home map that they can count on. That's something that's good for them, right? At least they got a home map where they can be really solid on it, even if it didn't pan out for them yesterday. Still 16-14, but they got a home map where they're dangerous. It's just that they need to work on the follow up. But I mean, still 2-1 against Gambit. They take their home map. They show that they're capable there. Against Team One, way too scrappy, but they managed to get the job done. And then they freaking 2-0 Furia. It's just like guys. I mean, Furia's heart clearly wasn't in it. That's it's like, okay, Cloud9 beat Furia, but Furia's heart definitely wasn't in it, and you can see that a bit in the scoreline. 16-6, 16-1. Like, I don't know if Furia had a date to go, like they had to go get dinner or something. They were on a timeline, like had to get that match done very quickly. But the Furia match is moot, can't be counted exactly. We can kind of like rotate this one off and just say, right, they beat Furia, it's still something, but Furia, their hearts weren't in it. This was the one where it's just like you need to get the job done if you're Cloud9. You know that you can do it. You have the confidence. You've beaten Furia. You've come off a good win yesterday. You know that you can do it. You've managed to beat Team One as well. You're getting in there. You're doing work, and so now's the time. And they fall flat. So again, this whole Cloud9 roster is just going to boil down to the long term, getting more experiences like this, getting beaten up. The thing is that there are going to be veterans on this team, guys like Henry, guys like Alex, who are going to know how to take from these losses, and they're going to know what they need to do to try and address these losses. And so now it's going to be about, your fine decision making. It's going to be about in those clutch moments, like analyzing those clutch moments, looking at it like this is where you needed to do this instead of this, right? You needed to not pull out a nade. You needed to maybe take the fight instead of playing passively. These sorts of things, right? They'll make adjustments down the future, and this team is only going to get better. But for everybody say like we need an instant return on the investment, it's not going to happen. This is the long haul kind of play now for Cloud9. I mean, Esatag seems to be doing all right on that AWP. We'll see how that pans out. Maybe that's the next change that needs to happen here. I don't know. We were talking about, Kenny joining the roster. That could have been a play. But I think we just need to kind of be patient with Cloud9 and see, because there's real potential on the team. We've seen that. There's potential on the team. They've got firepower, but they just need to know how to handle these stressful situations better, and they need to develop that confidence. And so maybe, I think perhaps I was making a mistake in that I was focusing on the young guns, but maybe it is on Alex as well that we need to be focusing on a little bit here, or that, Cloud9 need to be focusing on to make sure that he doesn't seem like the most energetic in-game leader, like the kind of guy who's going to get up there and start shouting at his team to get going. So if he's having a crisis of confidence himself, that doesn't bode well, right? He needs to know rock solid deep down that he is capable of doing what needs to be done and leading this team. And if he doesn't do that, I think that's going to actually be the real issue on the team. It's not even going to be the young guns. So hopefully Henry finds a solution for that. They find a good psychologist or something like that to help him out, and they start getting some wins under their belt to start building that confidence. But I haven't given up on this roster yet, so we'll see, guys. But tell me what you guys think. Leave a comment below. Like, subscribe, and more videos on CS coming soon. So until next time.